What's good, everyone? It's Saturday night, and of course, that means nothing really. But today, I just wanted to start off this new series on my channel that I personally like to call Saturday Night Vlogs. Now, obviously, as the name implies, this is going to be basically a bootleg version of Saturday Night Live instead of a vlog version. So basically, this is probably going to try to be the funny log, like weekly log that you get out of my life personally, besides the content that I make anyway. So yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. Hopefully this can have success. I mean, this really just needs to start this out like fresh. Boom, there we go. But in any event, let's move right into the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk to you about. Now, number one. I feel like we're living in the dark ages of television, and in what aspect of television I'm talking about is like children's television, like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nikki. As far as those networks are concerned, we've fallen into the dark ages. It is terrible now. Nickelodeon is just straight trash. Cartoon Network, the only shows keeping Cartoon Network alive are We Bare Bears and Steven Universe. Mainly Steven Universe is saving Cartoon Network's life. And then Disney Channel has fallen off the watch. No, Disney Channel has not completely fallen off the rails. The one thing that's saving Disney Channel right now, in my personal opinion, is Andy Mack. That show is good. It is actually pretty good. I'm not even gonna front. Like, if y'all have not seen Andy Mack on Disney Channel, please at least take 23 minutes out of your life and watch watch the first few episodes of Andy Mack, because they don't get too engaging until you get really into it, like really get into the meat of the series. But yeah, oh gosh, we're living in the dark ages of television now. Back in the day when we had Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Nancy Classified. I could literally go on and on and on, and honestly that might be a separate video in and of itself, alright, like straight up. Because man, we've fallen so far, we have fallen so darn far. Television networks, what are y'all doing? And especially that show 13 Reasons Why. That show is straight stupid. Like, how are you gonna portray suicide in that type of way? Like, personally, that just turned me way tired. I'm just like, bye, because that was just so terrible. You don't portray suicide in that way, because like, what are you trying to do? Like, and that person just bugs me, because struggling with suicide myself, just seeing it in that aspect is just straight, God, like, why? Just why? What were you trying to do? Alright? Like, that's one thing I want to get out the way for sure. But okay, anyway, before I start going on a rant about pretty much everything at this point, let me move on to my next topic. Making song covers. Like, honestly, for those of you who sing and know the struggle, you wanna know what the biggest issue is? For those of you who sing, let me know in any way, shape, or form if you've ever dealt with this. But for those of us who sing, if you record yourself, you have your phone or something, and you record yourself, and your phone saves that, and you play it back, right? What you think you sound, what you hear yourself sounding like from your ears, and then what you hear from the recording are two different worlds. Like, you really just sit back and wonder to yourself, do I really sound like this? Because one minute you're thinking you're sounding like some, X Factor or American Idol type material, and then you hear yourself, and then it's a completely different ballpark. You're just sitting here wondering, like, who are you? Like who do you really sound like? Do you trust the recording, or do you trust your ears? Because, as far as you're concerned, your ears can't really I don't know. Maybe that's just a weird, quirky thing that musicians / singers deal with. So maybe that's just me getting into my head. But I digress. But if there's definitely one thing that I definitely like I really do not like right now is the whole issue of. I mean, I don't know if y'all have this, but with parents, like, so annoying. Like, I don't know. With parents now, I feel as if there's like a whole bunch of things that they're not telling their kids what to do, and as a result, kids that are born in this age now don't necessarily know everything that they're supposed to know, and that kind of impedes people, like in society as a whole entire. Like, for instance, if you were to ask someone like a young person right now, what they would want to do, or not even that, no, scratch that entirely. Like, if you were to ask a young person now if they have any home training, you're probably not going to get the answer yet. And by home training, I mean the basic ability to cook, clean, and, take care of a house at least. Like, take care of a house or apartment or wherever you live at. At the very least, people, like, kids these days should have that basic skill, right? But, and respect, the one life's essential skill that you actually need. Guess what? There ain't none of it. Like, I feel like an old man right now. I'm not even 18. And yet I'm ranting about this because there's just so much going on. Like, I really wondered to myself, do younger people really go to their parents and with this attitude and the parents take it? Like, that's my question. Like, jeez. It's saddening to see it. Like, you're the parent in this. Why are you taking this? Like, especially from your child, they should be the ones like listening to you. But I digress again. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I've just been listening to a whole bunch of old school songs. I don't know. Maybe for me, it's been years, but old school pop songs in general, I've listened to a couple of those way back when, back when I actually had a normal K-pop to me before I eventually just got used to being myself. But yeah, if there's one thing I genuinely dislike, it's the fact that there's just pop songs now, they suck. Like, music nowadays just suck. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. You'd think that, as the times get better, the music gets better, right? No. What really happens is that you eventually want to go back to the old school days, go back to the vintage music when you can actually hear people when they're singing, and, every song isn't the same fleshed out thing that you've heard 1,000 times over and over and over again. Because now it's pretty much come to a point where I very rarely, in fact, I've never listened to a mainstream artist for years. Putting that into perspective, it's been that long, literal years that I've not listened to any mainstream artists at all. Frankly, I don't mind that because music nowadays, it's kind of trash anyway. It's really trash, actually. I find myself listening to old school songs from Hinder, Evanescence, Seether. I've been brushing up on my old bands so much that I forgot new ones exist, and I don't even realize that because I'm just so caught up in the old stuff that I don't want that to change with the new stuff. Oh gosh. The music scene has changed. The music scene has most definitely changed. The music scene has been way different now than it ever has been back in the day. Back in the day, artists actually represented themselves pretty well. But now it's gone to a point where an artist would go through a really good anime arc in their life, and then they would just hit a really bad obstacle in their life, and they immediately descend downwards into depression, drinking, and basically they go from a really happy arc to a thought arc. and when I say thought, I mean that in general to both males and females. Because trust me, males can end up like that too. And trust and believe, all women are queens. They should be treated as such. But then there's just the few that just mess it up for everybody. That just have that bad image, man. I don't know. That just bugs me. I can't deal with that. There have been so many artists out there that don't, like, I feel as if they don't even know what music is anymore. Like, it's just not, like, the scene for music has changed, and the internet scene has definitely changed. Because now, it's not about, it is about just being yourself, even though a lot of artists do advocate that, and I respect and give all power to them. But, there are just some people that just are in it for the fame, and it is disgusting to see. And the sad part is, they're the ones that are at the top too. It's sad, really. And then there are just some artists who genuinely made it from the bottom up, who didn't care what other people thought, and I love that. I don't understand what happened, man. To be honest, I feel like a lot of things have been in decline. But at the same time, a lot of things have been on the rise, which is great. I mean, I'm not gonna make this vlog sound completely depressing here, okay? Man. A lot has changed, people. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. My goodness. It's almost sad to see personally. But you know what? The times, they are changing. Not gonna front. Yeah, man. Man, there's just been so much things that have been changing that is almost ridiculous. I mean, granted, to be able to accept and adapt with change, that's the meaning of being an adult, in my personal belief. You gotta be able to deal with change and adapt with it and change with it. Like, you have to change with the times. When times change, people have to change too. And that's a fact of life. When time changes, you gotta change with it, otherwise it just falls to the wayside and be forgotten. Because one way or another, the world will keep moving around no matter what. But yeah. Only there was something funny that happened. Maybe. Actually, let me talk about something. My experience with driving. Now, currently, I do not have a driver's license, period. Excuse me for that one. But I currently do not have a driver's license, period. Alright? So I've been learning how to drive. I got my permit and everything. I'm fine with that. The one frustrating thing that bugs me about driving is just how exhausting it gets. I don't know about anybody else, but when I drive personally, it starts to like drain me mentally because I'm watching 3 beers at once. I'm trying to make sure I keep the steering wheel straight. I'm trying to make sure I don't crash into nobody, and then the stress of always constantly worrying about, am I making a wrong turn? Am I not straight in the lane? Did I turn to the lane right? Did I press on the brake enough to make a soft turn? Ugh, it's stressful. I mean, honestly, I kind of give Mario Kart some credit in this because Mario Kart definitely helped me somewhat in driving, believe it or not. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. I don't know. Like as far as the channel goes though, for Rebel Month, as I'm liking to call it now, I'm really liking how it goes along. Hopefully I can, produce more content that you guys would like, and hopefully you guys can relate to and vibe with on a personal level. But yeah. Well, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next Saturday for the next Saturday Night Vlog. Peace be with you. On each other to ensure your own word is bond, but our only response is